Hi, welcome back to Out of Spec Motoring. This is Francie, I'm Jordan, and we have a VinFast VF8 here.
Yes.
Are we the first people to road trip this thing?
100%. It arrived on the truck to the VinFast dealership in Raleigh, North Carolina. It was a trip to get it. Check out Out of Spec Reviews. I also, Francie, run the Out of Spec podcast. I'll be talking about the experience with Kyle on there. But yeah, it came off the truck Saturday and then we got it. So it did not have many miles at all.
We got it, meaning this is not like a long-term loaner situation. I don't even think they'd want to loan us something.
No.
We leased this.
Yes.
This is like Out of Spec's car now, and so Francie is the lucky guinea pig who gets to like literally start living with it.
Yes, I'm taking it back to Tennessee with me. It's going to be my daily driver, and it's my first EV that I own. You know, it's an Out of Spec car, but I'm really excited. We had to come here to Raleigh to get it. Kyle had to leave to go to California, but we took my stepmother's Model Y out here and she wants it back. So Jordan was luckily very nice enough to come out and help me drive it back so that we didn't have to leave the VF8 out here. And Jordan, it's not so much of a who will get there first, because please don't leave me behind.
This is not a Model Y versus VinFast VF8 comparison. We all know this is kind of the golden standard for a lot of things. It is like the best-selling car in the world objectively now.
Yeah.
And this is the car that literally no one knows exists.
Yes, so to be specific, this is a Model Y Performance, and this is a VF8 Eco. So this is the most efficient version that you can get. It's on the 19-inch wheels. It lacks some of the premium features of the Plus, VF8 Plus, but we'll see the comparison. You know, if you're stuck choosing between the Model Y and the VF8 because you road trip, maybe this is the video for you.
Yeah, so this is a video for a very niche amount of people, but we are going to be taking these two cars 800 miles, and we are actually going to be using CCS. I'm going to attempt not to even use Tesla.
Right, so you have an adapter so that you can use CCS. Of course, this is only CCS, and VinFast has not announced as of January 30th, 2024, what their plans are for J3400 or the North American Charging Standard. We also have my dog in the back, who's a great road trip partner. You're allowed to take him, I guess, if you want him for a couple miles.
A couple miles.
Yeah. But so we're starting in the hotel parking lot. We're going to start our trips the same. We both happen to be at 60% state of charge, and then we're going to go charge at an Electrify America station and get going west.
We're going to try to split this into 2 days, so basically roughly 6 hours of driving plus charging, and this has been interesting to charge, I think, as you could say.
Yeah, if you watched the first Out of Spec Reviews video, we had trouble charging it at an EVgo station because of the station itself. It was in bad shape. Then we went to Electrify America and it would only give us 1 kilowatt hour, 1 minute, and stop. That's because Kyle hadn't updated his credit card. I then left Kyle at the airport and took it to another EVgo station at a Whole Foods, and it charged.
Just leave it there.
Yeah, leave it there. It got up to 85 kilowatts at around 45%, which was cool, or maybe it was 55. I have that somewhere. And yeah, so we're gonna see how it charges. It's decent. There'll be longer stops, but we have a dog, we have someone to hang out with, so we'll just do that, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, off to Electrify America, and then we'll hit on the road. You've got some fancy walkie-talkies.
That's true. Let me grab those, and then we'll go charge. We'll do our first stop, and we'll check in there. We'll set all of our trip stuff, because we're going to track the efficiency. We may as well, because it's not a comparison again, but we are literally having these side-by-side, identical conditions, identical speeds.
So this is a nice green color. We were hoping to get like red or orange, but didn't get that, but I think it's lovely. This is kind of a preferred color, even if it might not pop. And then you come on in, and I'll set the trip right now. So we have 131 miles on this baby. Here's the adapter, Jordan.
Thanks.
Oh, wow. And he's got the walkie-talkies going. So this is the odometer, trip A, trip B, and oh, that went away. And then trip auto, I think that's just from this morning. I drove 0.1 mile. And my seat is nice and warm, which is really nice because it is cold outside, but we haven't figured out how to put the outside temperature on here. So I'm gonna reset this. I mean, I'll let it ask me again. All right, my trip B is set to 0.
Okay, Francie, I'll go ahead and reset my trip.
Over. Oh, this is amazing. And Rafiki, of course, is along for the ride.
All right, got my trip reset in here. Navigation, trips. We have out of spec VF8 now as a trip, showing that in the trip card. I guess I'll disable since last charge because that should be the same as current drive in the case of this trip. So everything's reset. This will be super interesting to compare the VF8 efficiency versus the Model Y. Again, I can guarantee the Model Y is a much better car for road trips. I mean, it's tried and true essentially, whereas the VinFast, we are trying it. I think she has the better color. Well, this is a strange look. First of all, everyone's obsessed over the fact that everyone's going to be able to start charging on Tesla chargers, Max, all the things. And meanwhile, we have this Tesla here with, yeah. Over here at Electrify America, this is unavailable. So if you have a CHAdeMO car and planning on driving here, I do apologize. But we are going to try charging with these two chargers. We'll see what happens. All right, I moved the Tesla so that guy can charge. And because it's not a direct comparison road trip, I'm not maybe always going to use EA because we have a infrastructure issue.
Sure.
So I will probably use Tesla superchargers if I need to let other people charge. But okay. How's it going?
Connecting to vehicles. So the V here changes color. So yellow means connecting.
Oh, it's very subtle too.
It is.
The camera actually picks it up better than your eyes can.
Welcome, Frank. This is still orange though. And it's charging. Great.
Charging. This says remaining time 39 minutes. Outside temperature is cold. Battery needs to be preheated.
So I would have been able or tried to precondition the battery if it. I tried to navigate here, but I don't think it has manual preconditioning.
So we are pulling 32 kilowatts right now, which is not fantastic at all.
So it's also 36 cents per kilowatt hour. Yeah, so this is per kilowatt hour pricing, which is something that I want to talk about more on the podcast too. It's per minute versus per kilowatt hour.
Yeah.
And okay.
Great. So when we locked it, the music started playing.
Loudly.
Loudly.
Which I had it turned down and muted, so I locked it. We're leaving Rafiki here. He's great in the car.
And then Rafiki apparently wanted the music.
He said, yeah, let's jam out for a second.
And basically the charging menu doesn't tell you the kilowatts of charging, like the charging speed rate.
No, it doesn't. It tells you the temperature of your battery, tells you the percentage of your battery.
But not at which rate you're charging.
I don't believe so. Yeah. Bye, I love you. I'll be back soon.
So VinFast is charging.
At 28 kilowatts.
So it's charging.
It's charging.
We're at 28 kilowatts at 65%. We went in Target for a while, did some shopping, got some Starbucks.
The battery is at 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
And we gained 4%. Yeah, so basically you can't precondition right now.
Right, so I have tried my best to get data to work on this car. The GPS knows where we are technically, but if I try to search, anywhere to go, which would allow preconditioning, then it's not possible. So luckily, actually, look, it hasn't even updated. That's where we were this morning.
No, you're right. That's really weird.
That is weird. And
yeah,
we don't want to keep resetting the car. So we're just, unfortunately, I don't think the GPS will work until it works. We'll try, I'll keep contacting VinFast, but.
So you basically don't currently have battery preconditioning, which means these will be longer charging stops. We can precondition it ourselves a bit. You could do some yo-yoing. Yep. That's what we call it. So
I would have, this poor dog would have to go in the Model Y.
You'd have to hop over in the car that does precondition, sir. Here we are on the charging screen, and you cannot change the charging target while you're charging.
Right.
So that's a big miss.
So I wonder if it's because the car thinks it's off. So let's see what happens when I put my foot on the brake.
Oh, all the beeping. All the messages.
Also so loud. Okay, so no, still no.
Now, we were doing what, 28 kilowatts?
Yeah, what are we, 9?
Now we're up to 31.
Oh, okay. Oh my God.
2 minutes to go, 1%. That's pretty bad.
I don't love it. It's cold though. It is quite cold. My fingertips are cold. The battery is cold. the one thing that we've talked about, especially in the cold weather EV charging problem, is that preconditioning one is so essential for a positive experience.
Yep.
And
honestly, give us
manual preconditioning should be an option. You shouldn't have to whip your neck around, yo-yoing, warming up the battery, or, you know, behaving all wildly.
Or rely on navigation. Like, it's just...
Or rely on navigation.
We'll just be here for a bit. Now, the thing is, the next stop we were thinking is in Charlotte, I think, which is only 130 miles away.
Mm-hmm. Which sounds like it's across the planet to me in this EV.
It thinks we can currently do 181 miles, right?
Yes.
I don't think I believe that.
You want to give it a lot of buffer.
Yeah.
Because the only thing we have in the middle is library charging, which is great. We can go read a book.
That's true. And that might be a good charger. I don't know. But I think, the 75% charge to 75 or 80? Even 80?
Yeah.
Maybe 80.
Why not go to 80?
So maybe I'll go to a supercharger and come back, and you'll still not be at 80.
Rafiki and I will be walking around older and older. This is going to take as long as it did to get the VinFast in the first place.
What's also interesting is this says 69% state of charge. The charger says 68. They've never actually been the same number this whole time.
Okay, but they're both getting the information from the same source.
Yeah, you'd think so.
You'd think so.
He's completely bored. He's checked out.
Sneaky baby. He is. He's checked out. All right, so we thought maybe we would charge. Sometimes we'll charge together at CCS, but sometimes it might just be easier if you just run over to a Tesla charger and live the good life.
Because I think our assumption right now is that I'm going to be charging very quickly, and I really don't want to block anyone else. Like, this is the Carry Electrify America, famous for being terrible. Not Electrify America. We've had great Electrify America experiences. The Carry one specifically seems to be bad. One of the 3 chargers is broken. The only 2 remaining do 150 kilowatts. I'm not going to take it from a Volvo. So I'm going to go hop over to Tesla, and I'll be back, and we'll see who wins. I'm just going to pull up charging nearby. Yeah, so this one's close. Okay. 1.5 miles, 5 minutes. We are probably going to be preconditioning. Yep, preconditioning. So this one got here using less energy than the VinFast. So I'm going to assume this car will be more efficient. We're just going to find out how much more efficient. Right, so the difference between the Carry Electrify America and the Carry Tesla Supercharger is pretty immense. There's one person charging, and of course they're charging at the only pull-in station for like towing, which is kind of funny. Which is just like out there in the middle of nowhere. It's like an island charger. That's really wild. So I'm gonna pull in here and just charge for a bit to do some route calculations, and then report back to Francie, who is probably still pulling 30 kilowatts. Pull this out, click this button, pop that in. God, what an easy car.
We have been here now 31 minutes. We have gotten 16 kilowatt hours in that time. Right now it's charging at 32 kilowatts at 75%. We started at 56 and we're at 75%. This is not ideal, but the battery's really cold, so I can't precondition, and there is no manual precondition option as far as I know, which is, again, just harping on why that's so important in EVs. So I'll just gonna have to drive it and warm it up, I guess, and then hope for better charging the next round.
All right, executive decision. I'm charging really slow. I didn't have enough time to precondition here. It is annoying how it tells you next time navigate to a supercharger for faster charging. Doesn't it know I navigated here? It's just like it's obnoxious. It thinks you don't know anything, and maybe sometimes that's true. So going to head back to Francie. I have enough charge to get to Greensboro, actually the far side of Greensboro, and still have some room to spare. So I'm not gonna deep charge this thing at all. It's really all about the VinFast today. This thing is just the support vehicle, which is great. So I'm gonna go pop over to Francie and see how the VinFast is doing. I'm guessing still pretty slow, but I think she said she's close to 80%, which is awesome. So the VinFast should be able to go 80 or 120 miles on 80%. I'd say we stop charging. 82% should be plenty to get us to the next destination, which is 100 and something miles. This is a good like test. This is the first leg of a road trip. Yeah. The first leg we've ever done.
Battery temperature is still cold. 83% battery, which is different than 82.
Yep.
Up there. Expected range 222, but we're gonna stop charging. Stop now. and try to warm this baby up.
Hopefully the next charging session is better.
63 kilowatt hours in 49 minutes.
Wow.
So we pulled up here right at the same time.
You did 24 kilowatt hours in 49 minutes. So he's done over twice as much energy.
Probably preconditioned, etc.
Okay, you're probably right.
Okay, so
off to Greensboro.
Yeah, because when this gets warm, it is better.
Okay.
So let's go get warm. Are you okay in that Tesla?
I'll be fine.
All right.
Thanks for worrying about me.
Of course.
So I guess we'll keep track of this drive and see if that gives us a good benchmark of what happens the rest of the way.
All right, everyone. So we're on the road. 83% battery, expected range of 221 miles. We just have 4.4 miles on trip B, and we're ready to go. We are in, drive mode. I'm not in eco mode, so it takes you out of that. I am now in eco mode. It doesn't save your last driving mode, which is kind of annoying. Maybe I can make it do that. And yeah, again, this is not where I am.
My coffee is actually pretty terrible. I probably should have just gotten a Trenta strawberry acai or something. Over.
No inclusion, no flippin' water, extra shaken. Over.
Is that this sensor, it is watching me. It is, when I was trying to do something on the screen, told me to look at the road. It sees my phone up in the air. It told me to use hands-free, which is, these are all great safety features. But I'm also a really safe driver. I don't use my phone. I don't text and drive or anything, even with the really smart driving cars. So yeah, there's that. But I also want to talk about the self-driving. So maybe if I zoom in, you can see the heads-up display. So you can see everything that I have on. So it will keep a distance from the car in front of me. It's set at 73 miles an hour, and it'll keep me in the lines. The lane centering is really great, and I just gotta say, I am very, very pleased. I could have my hands off the wheel and be pretty confident. It keeps me straight in the lane. If I want to merge over, which I won't do now, but I probably will do soon, it of course will pick up the speed and let me merge over. It doesn't want me to leave the lane, of course. Oh, there it goes. Dangerous. It is dangerous. They're right. But I'm just going to cover that for now. But yeah, so I can merge over, and it won't do it for me, of course, but it will. So I put my blinker on. It's picking up a little, and it will let me merge over without buzzing me or anything. It's slowing down because this truck is in front of me, and then I'm back getting lane centered. This is pretty great. I've got to say, this is a really great aspect of it, and I'm already comfortable with it after a while. My 2016 Subaru Outback does not do it this well, I'll say. So I think this is a really great aspect of the VinFast VF8. I am just loving this driver's assistance. We are going around long turns. We are perfectly in the middle of the lane, centered in the lane. We're taking the turns gradually. The speed is great. Look at this. I'm not doing a thing. And it is driving me. And so now I'm going under what I want to be going. So I'm going to merge. It's speeding up. It's letting me merge lanes. Okay, so I didn't have my blinker on, so it did give me a little bit of vibration feedback because it said, hey girl, you're putting me in another lane I don't want to be in. And now I'm going to put my blinker on. I feel the speed pick up and turn my blinker off. It will recenter. It has the steering wheel orange, I think, until it's centered again on the heads-up display. And now I'm good again. Okay, so I've been driving for not very long. And it is really not liking this. Okay, then it went away. That was a big take a break, Francie. And I wonder if it's because it's watching me here. It sees my phone. I'm not really sure. But I don't know. I mean, I haven't even been driving for that long, and it knows that. So I'm not sure why it would say that. Besides that, it's monitoring my behavior. So if you don't want that, I think you're going to have to get some stickers and stuff to cover up the sensors.
So the VinFast does have actual driver assistance, which is great, but the Tesla's is definitely just fantastic. It is a benchmark for a reason. Even with the new update that makes it a bit more naggy, I guess, it really hasn't been bad. If you're just driving, like, it's fine. If you're maybe trying to abuse it, that's when the nags would get really annoying, and I guess that makes sense. Like, people really shouldn't be abusing these systems. I get it. It can be fun. It gets views and clicks on YouTube, but that's not, I don't know. I don't think I really condone that per se. But the one really annoying thing still to me is the fact that Tesla does not have a capacitive wheel. So it does take more torque than I think it should every single time to actually tell the car you're still there. But route planning is amazing. Preconditioning is amazing. Yeah, we'll see if VinFast ever catches up. A lot of things can be done with software updates, but if we can't even get the stupid data to connect on that car, then what good is software updates? I guess they're not OTA. I guess she'd have to go to a VinFast dealer, which she doesn't have in Memphis, I don't think, but we'll see. So, Francie, do you think we can make it to go to Charlotte? Because it's only another 75 miles past this charger, and I'm curious what state of charge you're at now.
So I'm at 52%. It says I have an expected range of 138 miles, and I'm getting about 2.4 miles per kilowatt hour, which isn't awesome, but it looks like I've burned around 30% of the battery since our last charge.
I think we push onwards because, yeah, we've used less than 30% of your battery to go this far, and the next leg is only about the same distance. So it, at a minimum, I think 15%. Now, we don't know exactly how the battery, like BMS, is going to be low down, but that feels like a big enough buffer to me. Right, so I would make it to Electrify America with 2% state of charge if I keep it at 65 miles an hour. I think we're going to stop at Salisbury, which is right before Charlotte. That is a good charging stop for me. V3 superchargers, 250 kilowatt max, excellent. So she has 2.4 miles per kilowatt hour, and I am dealing with right about 3.2 or something like that. So definitely more efficient here in the Model Y, which was probably no surprise. She has a much bigger battery pack. I think 87 kilowatt hours usable, which means must be in the 90s with the buffer is what we're assuming. So I will top up in Salisbury. Preconditioning has just started, so that's fantastic. I should have a nice juicy charge arriving with 8%, so single digit arrival on a V3 supercharger. That's fantastic. Should get nice charging right away.
Okay, everyone, back into the VF8. I had to pull off because I just had to run into a gas station, and Rafiki's here looking sleepy as heck. These are the noises you hear when you get in your VF8. So I got a call from the service guy, the awesome service guy at VinFast, and he said, hey, how's it going? And basically that Kyle and I asked for the lowest mileage, kind of just like the best one they could find on the lot, you know, and they got us that, which means that when this car came off the truck, they were like, okay, this is the best option. This is what we're going to live in, well, with the lowest mileage. That's what we wanted, really. And so that's what we got. No other tempering or tampering with the vehicle. And so when that happened, there was just a little bit of a mix up with the VIN, because they were originally giving us a VIN. So that was passed to, the wrong VIN basically was passed to us. And now this car is being reassigned as the one that was sold with this VIN, and then the connectivity should work. So that should happen within a few hours, the guy said, and so that's probably why I'm not able to connect to the internet, but there's probably a VF8 on their lot that I'd be able to log into and everything, and that would be fine. So that's why the connectivity is not working. So that's just an oversight on their part, trying to get us the best EV that they could, and then getting that mix up. So things happen, but looks like there's a fix, and they've already, you know, they identified it pretty early, which is great because they wouldn't want to do it again to another car, sell a car with the same VIN or, you know, whatever. So that's good. Rafiki and I are going to get back on the road so we can catch up with Jordan, who continued on. I wanted to note that this also means that hopefully I'll be able to precondition the battery when I'm able to navigate to a charging station. So big pluses coming my way. And I asked him to call me back when he knows that that should be happening, which will be today. And yeah, woohoo.
Made it to Salisbury and made it to the exit for the supercharger. Should be pulling in right about 5 or 6%, which is just a fantastic number to pull into a V3 supercharger on, and presumably a completely warmed battery now. We shouldn't have any more cold gating like we did this morning when we didn't really have any preconditioning time. That is a challenge with charging as a first stop. It's usually better to, you know, leave with a fuller battery and then keep going, which I could have done, but Francie was charging anyways, so I thought I may as well. It's a Culver's, and you have to cut off the drive-through lane to get to the Tesla superchargers, but this looks like a fantastic little setup. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units maybe, not 8. Interesting. Oh no, there's some more over there. There's like 15. Nice, this is awesome. All right, now we will plug in and see what we rip up to here. Nice thin cables, that's how you know it's a V3, not a V2. So ripping up there, we should be able to go into service menu here. Hold on there for about 5 seconds. Service, much easier than the Rivian service menu. Enable. Let's see what we get here. It does turn off climate control, so you have to tap to turn that back on. But we are now in service mode, which should tell us a few more things, such as high voltage system, charging. There we go. So the temperatures could be a bit warmer maybe, but maybe not. Maybe it doesn't really need that high. It's supposedly optimized for the current temperatures, but we're already ripping right here at 254 kilowatts. Fantastic, the VinFast wishes.
We're at 33% battery. We've got about 87 miles of expected range, and I'm cruising at 70. And we just have about 20 miles to the next stop where I think I'll charge up, and if I can stretch it a little bit longer towards the center of Charlotte, maybe I'll do that. Oh, and one thing that I forgot to note when I got back in the car at the gas station is that I do have to set my drive mode every time I get back in. Maybe when everything gets linked up with my profile, it'll have more memory capability to remember what I was doing and just restore it when I get back in the car, but we will see.
All right, 69% should be good. We're gonna unplug, head over to Electrify America. If that station's not busy, maybe I'll top up a little bit there while we are most likely inevitably going to be waiting for Francie because the VinFast is still not super warmed up there.
I haven't gotten a call from anyone to say that I'm able to connect yet. I don't know if I'll have to like restart the car to get that connectivity and be able to precondition by navigating to the charging, even though we would love if there was some preconditioning that we could do manually, but we can't. I could yo-yo us, which is when you stop and start and stop and start the EV. You go really fast and then you stop, which can really warm up the battery, but I have a baby in the back and I'm not super comfortable with, you know, yanking him around. So I'm not gonna do that, and I'm gonna just suffer through, and also, you know, maybe just like someone who doesn't know that that's even an option. So we're in Concord, this sweet little town, and someone at the stop light, actually it was a green light, but he was like, hold on your window, what is that? It's beautiful. I said, it is called a VinFast and it's electric. And then Jordan also, well, Jordan was on the phone, so he heard it, but Jordan thought we were going to Charlotte, to a different EA station. It's about 18 miles away. I have 20% battery, expected range of 53. I think I can make it instead of going to this EA. I did have to come off the highway and get here. This is annoying. Every time it like my dad just called and it stopped my recording. So I think the Bluetooth is giving the VinFast a little bit of trouble. And then my dad left a voicemail, and
in
that
3
also
miles, keep left to merge onto I-85 south toward Charlotte.
It also stopped the video. So I'm gonna call my dad back, but I guess I'll see you in Charlotte.
This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stall station, which is super cool. So I will probably charge up a little bit here, but Francie should be pulling in soon. I'll wait to charge until she gets here. But looks like quite a few people charging up. We got a Bolt Mach-E. So checking on my stats, I have averaged almost exactly 3 miles per kilowatt hour on the last drive, and the whole trip actually. Exactly 3 miles per kilowatt hour, or 330 watt hours per mile. What you do is divide 1,000 by that number, and that gives you miles per kilowatt hour. So we'll see what Francie arrives here with, but we've done a total of 168 miles on the trip. I've got 54% stated charge. I think she'll be arriving fairly low, probably the low teens if I had to guess. So we'll see if she pulls in here soon, but yeah, we got a Bolt, Hyundai Kona EV, and 2 Mach-E's, different specs there. So that's pretty sweet to get these some actual use out of them. There it is. So between the Kona and the Mustang is a 350. Do you think that would be of any use to you? Probably not. A Bolt just full charge there.
Really?
Yeah, he was sitting there for, I don't know, an hour and a half.
Oh my God.
And that's the only 350 left. So I don't know if you want to hog that from someone, because I don't think this will do.
Are all the other ones available?
Yeah, they all work except one plugs down. So
Which one? Not
the very, very, very end. So just don't go to the very end.
I'll just go to this one.
Cool. So what are your statistics?
My statistics.
You arrived with 13%.
Yeah, it could have gone lower, you know?
Yeah.
But it wasn't getting too scary. It wasn't like,
That's good. You still have power?
I still have power. So we went 165 miles, average about 60 miles per hour, and 2.7 miles per kilowatt
That's
hour.
actually not terrible.
It's not the worst.
So mine's 3 miles per kilowatt hour for the same distance, basically.
Okay.
So
The battery's warmer than it was earlier, but it's not hot.
yeah, still not great, but
But like I told you, they should be connecting me to the internet sometime soon, which will help with preconditioning.
that'd be great.
I don't want to yo-yo with the baby, so
Yeah. Rafiki, how you doing?
he's great. He's just perfect.
Just perfect.
Unique.
I love all the noises at the EA stations.
I know, it's really humming.
Yeah,
That's
so
for
we have 10 stations here, 1 Chatamo. One station has half of it not working, so 1 plug out of 20. That's pretty good.
Okay, that is pretty good. How was your ride over?
Oh, great.
Yeah?
Super great. Yep.
Your supercharging was super?
It was super. So maybe I'll charge a little bit here. I can tell you V3 supercharger cables are different than these.
I don't know if that's going to be a good enough connection. Because it didn't really go in quite straight.
Click.
No, it didn't. It's a little hard. This way it feels like it wants to go that way. It's not clicking.
Oh, the V stop being orange.
Yeah. It's not connecting. I mean, clicking.
I
Yeah.
hate how it says 150 is ultra fast.
They just made up their own words.
I feel like, yeah, 350 should be ultra fast. Save hyper for 500.
Yeah. What are they going to do when it gets faster? If they
Super
go
hyper
faster?
ultra fast.
Super califragil.
Yeah, that
Oh
one.
no.
I had to stop filming because it took 2 of us to get this thing clicked in here.
Yeah.
But connecting, and what color is the V? Is it lit up? It's really hard to see that.
It's yellow.
It is yellow.
Orange.
Okay, that's good.
Whatever color.
As long as it's not red, that's good.
Yes, red's not good.
Red's bad.
I haven't heard any clicking.
No connectors clicking, yeah.
So we didn't get a charge. And this says this is red.
Oh, we have connectors.
We have connection.
Third try's a charm.
Yay. So first it gave us an error, something about plug and charge and payment, but I think that was just the communication was not going as it should have. And now it's charging, blinking green.
Blinking green is good.
Great. So I was at what, 13%?
13%.
And
So our next stop is 100 miles away. So we don't need to get that much, but you know, buffers are good.
buffers are good.
And
We
let's
had
just-
kind of like the perfect buffer, I'd say, for a new EV.
Yeah. We are already doing 100 kilowatts, which is way better than before.
And EV Go said 1% lower than what the car says too. Okay, that's higher than ever.
That's higher than before.
That's higher than I've ever got. The
3
highest I got
times
was
the speed.
85.
Yeah, 3 times the speed from earlier, and We'll see if it tapers.
Okay.
But hopefully we just stick at 100 for a bit. And
Yeah.
I don't know how far.
104?
How far should we charge to go? Maybe we just keep going until it like really
tapers off.
and then
Give
just
her
head to the
Fifi a
next
walk.
charger.
Yeah.
Okay, so we plugged in at 13%. It was at 103 kilowatts. Then it dipped down to 85 kilowatts for a bit. Now we're back up to 96 kilowatts. So I don't know if this would be a charging curve as much as like a charging sine wave.
Yeah. Well, what does the car say on the inside? What temperature is it at now?
71 degrees. So it is getting warmer,
Yeah, it's warming itself up.
which is good. This feels wrong, but it's working. Connectors are clicking.
Go, Jordan, go.
So I'm at 56%. What are you at?
53%.
53%. Okay, so I plugged in at 56.
Oh, here it is back now.
What are you at?
That says 52%.
Kilowatts?
Oh, 96.
96 kilowatts still. Just a very flat charging curve. 120 kilowatts.
19 kilowatts.
This is a charging wave, folks. Okay, I'm at 58 kilowatts. Yikes.
Okay, not cool.
EV battery overheating.
Should I stop charging?
I don't know.
Why would it let itself get that hot?
Not enough cooling,
Yeah,
possibly. So,
because it has been accepting the fastest charges we've seen since
yeah, it won't.
coming into contact with this EV.
It won't derate itself. It's just stuck at 100 kilowatts, which is not fast, but maybe it's fast enough to where the car is not happy.
What do we do,
But
Jordan?
it thinks you're driving, so it wants you to stop. Francie, please
Okay.
pull over.
What if I get out? The temperature is 93. This is how. Do you know your battery temperature?
I can find out.
Like, what is the normal battery temp? But I guess it doesn't matter as long as you have the cooling to keep in place. But
Yeah, which mine does have cooling.
yeah, yours has cooling. Oh, VinFast, please don't explode on me.
So Francie's car is overheating. I'm curious what my battery temperatures are. Hers are 93 degrees Fahrenheit. And of course mine's only gonna tell me in Celsius. Let's see here. But match temp 50 degrees Celsius.
So it didn't do that before. It said it's going to shut down soon. It never counted down. So now we'll see what happens when it shuts down in a minute and 30 seconds.
So this countdown timer, what's gonna happen? Vehicle is shutting down. So basically it shut off your climate control.
Okay.
As long as it's still charging, it's still doing
It is
85
definitely
kilowatts.
still charging. It derated a little bit from around 100 to 85.
And we closed the error message that said battery overheating. We'll see if it comes back.
I think that's what this is.
So
And
if you
then
swipe down to your notifications.
my dad called. Not that the battery's overheating.
Yeah. Can you
really?
tap the error thing?
Let's see. See,
Oh,
it's
of
so
course.
close to stop charging. I wonder what's that?
I don't know. We can't see below the stop charging button.
Yeah, what
They've
is
hidden their
this?
own things with their own
I know
UI.
that's the speed limit, but so if we go back to EV,
This is all so fascinating. It's like learning a whole new.
whole new everything.
So you used 70% to do about 160 miles.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
to do that again, we'd have to use another 70%. So we'd probably want to charge to what, 90?
Yeah.
And it's hard. Like usually I'd be like, let's charge her hot, but this thing doesn't charge fast anyways. The whole curve seems relatively flat. So it's almost like you may as well just stay in one place and just keep charging.
Yeah.
The VinFast has finally tapered down to the high 60s. Does the screen say? Oh, yeah, the screen doesn't say. That's right.
It doesn't let you know.
You're almost 80% state of charge. I am probably, I'm 74%, 75, so we're close. My car, which Tesla has pretty accurate route planning, says we can make it all the way to where we're planning to roughly stop for the night with what we have right now. Well, I guess I can make it. And I have a smaller battery, and you're at a higher state of charge.
Yeah, this is an 87.7.
Yeah, so I think we can make 180 miles from here.
Yeah.
Should be no problem. It's not like we're fighting cold temperatures and stuff. 52. I took my jacket off, so
Yeah, it's
we're
nice
fine.
and sunny. Have we really been here 40 minutes?
yeah.
Time passes so quickly.
Really?
Do you feel like we've been here for a while?
I would have been halfway down the state.
True.
That's okay.
So I'm at 79
time flies and we're having fun.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
And we're gonna try to get a bit more of a comfortable buffer so that we could stretch it that far if we wanted to, and then we can just charge around there.
Right now your buffer is saying 30-ish miles, so I don't know. We had like a 40-mile buffer before, right? Something like that?
I think so.
So maybe we'll aim for that. 36 kilowatts. So it's tapered pretty heavily. We have 88%. The car thinks you can do 237 miles. That's almost a 50-mile buffer, so I think we call it.
All right, I'm gonna stop.
Head on out.
Head on out.
And then we're gonna go to, basically just northeast of Atlanta.
Sounds good.
And that's dinner and probably the last major stop of the day.
Yeah.
And then we do it all over tomorrow.
I mean, the sun's still up. I feel like we can go so far.
I know.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, so we have almost 3 hours till that stop though. So.
Okay, Hotlanta, here we come.
Hotlanta.
Let's go.
So Francie has 88%. I have 80%. We'll see what we arrive there with. We're gonna be going side by side, the exact same speed. We are all set to go. And yeah, I think 181 miles is the official mileage to get there. Turn climate control back on, getting warm in here. So we can't quite compare yet the apples to apples for trip planning accuracy, but mine will say I'll get there with 18%, so that would be 62% of the battery. The efficiency deficit is pretty interesting. I have been averaging, like I said, 3 miles per kilowatt hour. She's been doing about 2.7, assuming the car calculates that accurately. I don't necessarily know how accurate it is, but you kind of have to rely on it with the car, at least in the state that we're aware. So leaving Walmart. Hope you like Walmarts if you're running the EA route. The next stop is Walmart in Commerce, which is 3 hours and change. Hopefully not much to do with traffic, and hopefully we can make it. That's a pretty long road trip stretch. I know a lot of people obsess over buying new cars with 300, 400, 500 miles of range, but honestly, we're gonna be doing less than 200 miles on the single spurt, and we're not even using the entire battery pack. I'm only at 80%, she's at 88. We'll see how it looks when we get there.
One thing I noticed was that I remember Kyle and I turned off the driver monitoring system just because, you know, it would probably chime me a lot. But I have been chimed, like if I happen to look down, it would think that my eyes were closed and it would say, "Are you tired?" Which is great. These are all great things. But I was wondering why I was being monitored, and every time I turn the car on and off, I have to go back into eco mode. I have to turn the lights on like I want them to, like if I had the fog lights on. I have to turn off the basically it doesn't restore to just how it was. It might be because things aren't as linked up to my profile as I need them to be, as I can have them, but at this point the driver monitoring system was warning and chime on, so I turned it off, and now we'll see what happens. So yeah, okay, you have to do that every time. That is definitely a bit annoying. The ride is actually quite comfortable. I would love if there was some lumbar support in the seat. I love that, but sometimes I just bring a pillow or an inflatable pillow and tuck that in wherever I need support on planes or long road trips. But I'm honestly very, very pleased with how this is going and driving. I like the VinFast VF8. Rafiki's, I mean, he's napping. It's easy peasy. And we just crossed the border into South Carolina, and this is actually near where Kyle and I were back in November when we were invited out to the BMW Test Fest, and then we went to Atlanta for the Mercedes charging network. You can see Jordan behind me, right behind me. We're cruising at a solid, well, right now 58 behind this truck, but 65 to just, he's got a little bit of a lower state of charge than I do, and we want to make sure the Tesla is accurately depicting how far he can get. I have an expected range of 194. I'm at 73% battery. not that bad. So just keeping an eye on all of that and pushing through. But yeah, so we've left North Carolina. South Carolina, here we come. And then Georgia.
Our state of charge on arrival has been oscillating a lot. Initially, at the beginning of the drive, it was like 18%, 8%, I can't decide. Now it's settled in at 11%, so that's probably going to be pretty accurate. We've kept right around the speed limit, sometimes slightly above, allegedly, but mostly below or right at it, just to make sure we make it. Especially because early on it was like, hey, 18%, never mind, 8%. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm sure the temperatures have helped. Yeah, it's been totally fine. So fairly good this trip. I've got over almost 4 miles per kilowatt hour, over 3, definitely way over 3. So pretty good on the current drive, which is bringing the entire average up as well. So pretty good efficiency. And we're about to cross 31,000 miles in this Model Y Performance. Really love this thing. I think for me, the Model Y is kind of the it's the not super exciting halo car of CUVs, if that makes any sense. It's not a looker. I don't mind the looks. I think it's fine, but it's not super interesting to look at. There's nothing like crazy stand out. It's just the best at so many things. You can take a car camping. You can fit so much stuff in it, like leading in its class for that. So I'm not just a Tesla fan, even though I am wearing a Tesla hat, I guess. But it's just such a good car. It's got the route planning, it's got the charging infrastructure, it's got it all. So I'm happy to be in this car, but honestly, Francie seems to like the VinFast. So we'll see how that works out over the next few months, couple of years. Gonna be interesting. Looking forward to it being thrown around the out-of-spec team a little bit. I think everyone needs to spend a little bit of time in it, even if it's just that's how you benchmark future cars. So we are still about an hour and a half from our next stop. Probably hit some traffic up here, it looks like, so that's to be expected approaching Atlanta, but not actually going all the way into Atlanta. Basically the east side of Atlanta is where we're stopping, or at least where I'm stopping. I'm gonna stay with a friend, and I think Francie's gonna probably host up in a hotel with Rafiki, so we could both get best possible sleep. And yeah, this is gonna be another long drive tomorrow. Not crazy long. Like, these are only 6-hour drives plus charging, but when your charging stops are 45 minutes, that really adds up. But I'm glad the VinFast seems to have half decent range, so it's not like horrible range and horrible charging, because that would have made for a much longer day.
All right, so I'm gonna show you the VinFast. Oops, the wrong way, turning the walkie-talkie down. They're, you know, the in-traffic driving assistance, because we're in some stop and start traffic right now, and this is kind of one of the best times I find to use this driver's assistance, because the traffic is moving, but it's moving slowly, and I don't want to off and on the pedal, but only if it works. So I've increased the gap between the car in front of me and my car, and I'm seeing how that's doing. But like a minute ago, it rode up on the Subaru in front of me and braked really hard once someone had merged out away, and then it started going, and then whoop. So, you know, I'm not sure how far ahead it's really seeing and calculating things, but we're set at about 35 miles an hour. We're going more around 20 for the most part until we speed up again. So let's see. When things slow down, the car just merged in front of the Subaru. It'll probably brake soon. It's not, just letting off the gas. That was nice and smooth. We're keeping a good distance. That's pretty good. Let's see how much of a distance it keeps from the Subaru. That feels like a safe, good distance to keep, because, you know, if God forbid someone ran into me, I don't want to just undoubtedly rear end the Subaru. I wanted to say that another thing I love, maybe we love, about the driver's assistance is that you can adjust in the lane without it taking you out of the auto steering, the driver's assistance, the lane centering, the speedometer. It will just resume and put you back in the middle. But if you want to inch over from a semi, which like I can't do in the Rivian, or you know, you have to yank it out of the Tesla, it just lets you kind of adjust in lane, which is lovely. Especially if you have potholes coming or there's something in the road. We've had a lot of people have popped tires, or can't remember what that's called. So that's really helpful. So another thing that I like about the driver's assistance.
As the sun is beginning to set on our day, literally, we are now preconditioning, only about 10 miles away from the charger, so I guess the battery temperatures are probably fairly optimal here. I am curious about the VinFast. I'm wondering what temperatures Francie will pull up with, and whether or not we have another error message of it overheating. That would be interesting and not ideal. Yeah, preconditioning is a huge must-have in EV, I think. But we are still doing well with our efficiency, about 3.7 watt-hour or miles per kilowatt-hour, which is, you know, high 200s watt-hours per mile. So very happy with that. And it seems to be tracking that me and Francie are using about the same percentages of our battery. It's just she has a bigger battery pack. So we are, yeah, about 10 minutes away from the charger. Get some juice. My friends are meeting us somewhere near there, get some dinner. Okay, so I'm at 9%. What are you at?
18%.
Okay, so we both used basically exactly 70% of the battery.
Cool.
To go 183 miles.
Okay.
We both used the exact same percentage to go the same speed, or same distance. You just did it with a bigger battery pack. I was you were 2.7, I was 3.7. So 1 mile per kilowatt hour difference.
Yes.
Okay.
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 Also, they said that they should have everything fixed up to get everything linked up, and for me to have like data and the right VIN associated with everything. So I thought I maybe would restart the car and then do that before charging.
Think that'll work?
I think it should.
VinFast having a VIN issue, huh?
VinFast having a VIN issue. And yeah, I also made an account like with a different email than one they had on file, although that wouldn't have affected it because I wouldn't have been able to link it up anyways until now. So I have to make another account now.
Oh my gosh.
Or change my email or something.
All right, well,
okay, fine.
Guess we're gonna charge and you're gonna restart your car first.
Let's do that.
All right, let's see how this thing charges on Electrify America with a low state of charge, because last time I plugged in was pretty high. Oh, these giant freaking beefy cables. All right, well, the Tesla's charging, and it's pretty cool. This station has a pay by kilowatt hour. They charge by the kilowatt hour, but it's different pricing based on the charging speed as well. So 0 to 90 was 20 cents, and then 90 to 350 was 35 cents or something like that. So that's pretty interesting. But what speeds are we pulling here? Probably not great. 117, okay, not terrible. But that's going to take a while. It says 45 minutes remaining to get to 90%. All right, 120 kilowatts. That's what we are limited to. Our charging cost was negative somehow. Interesting, but yeah, ramping up here.
Jordan is charging over here, and I think VinFast went in on the back end and linked everything up and found my email, because I think I used a different email with the dealership than I did here. So let's see if this finally works. Email is unavailable. Okay, so I'm gonna try a different email. Email is unavailable. Weird. Okay, I'm gonna try one more time. Oh, so that's not working. Plugged the VinFast in. I got news that, like I said, I should be able to link my account. I haven't had success with that quite yet, but I just wanted to get charging. Initiating charge. And let's see what happens before we take Sneaky Baby on a walk. Nice sunset. The VinFast says it is charging, and it hasn't brought up the battery screen yet. It's charging though. Oh, why can't I see the information, please, Electron America? Look at this sunburn. What? 113 kilowatts. Great. The battery's at 75. Here we go. Starting at 17. The car said 18. So we note a consistent discrepancy where the car says it is 1% more charged, state of charge, than the chargers. EVgo and Electrify America said the same, which is interesting because they should be getting the information from the same source. 114 kilowatts at 20%, getting 2 kilowatt hours so far. Cool.
All right, solid 4-car lineup. Ioniq 6 just pulled up, Bolt, and because of that, I'm gonna go ahead and move the Tesla just because I don't want to block any CCS cars from the charging they may need. So we are at 29%. Yeah, it's got a solid 20% charge just now. Super easy, so we'll stop that. 114 kilowatts
Already, yeah.
Wow.
And it's at 77.
So your battery cooled off.
Yeah, it definitely cooled off from the 95
That's
degrees
good.
Fahrenheit. Yeah,
We'll have to keep an eye on it and see if it like peaks again, because
yeah, I mean, why would
I don't trust the thermals of this VinFast. All right, gonna move this thing. Let's see, 47%. The temperature again peaked, which means we got that warning. Oh, no full face detected. Why is it looking for a face? It thinks it's driving right now. It says driver monitoring system not working, no face detected. Yeah, right here.
The monitoring system.
Driver monitoring system degraded. No full face detected. Also, EV batteries overheating. Stop the vehicle. Pull over.
I don't like it. I don't like all these. Wow.
And then just keep cycling through these errors over and over and over again.
Like, the doors are open. It's in park. It's charging. Why would it think that it needs
The car
to
literally
be
thinks it's driving right now.
now.
We're still at 98 kilowatts, but it is starting to throttle a little bit, so that's kind of expected at this point with the battery temperatures. I just don't know if it's really talking, like if they're talking to each other that well. This thing's too hot. This thing doesn't quite know yet. The car doesn't know to tell this thing that's not too hot. That's too hot. So it's just kind of a mess over here. But we're still cooking at right about 100 kilowatts, so not terrible, but not great.
So, but we're gonna unplug, go get some dinner, then plug in probably again. Unless I could also just find a hotel with overnight charging,
true, yeah.
which I think I might look at.
Now that we know pretty much how this chart is, we know how the Model Y compare. I mean, it's identical, which is weird.
Yeah.
Percentage-wise, not battery efficiency-wise.
Yeah.
This is less efficient than we expected, but
Yes.
yeah, dinner.
Dinner. Let's do it. Another station with network error for the card readers, which is hard for people who are renting an EV because they just want to tap their card and go and not download an app, but they have to. Hello, everyone. We've made it to Atlanta, Georgia, and Rafiki and I are on a walk. Where is he? Around the hotel. Stretch our legs before settling in for the evening. I did book this hotel because PlugShare said it had charging, but it doesn't. So I'll be fast charging again in the morning. Luckily, there are a few sites nearby, so I'll do that. Jordan is staying with some friends, which is great. So yeah, we will start up everything tomorrow, return to the VinFast road trip, which is honestly going well so far. I'm enjoying it. Like, it's not miserable whatsoever. The charging is decent. It's, I think, great to have a friend and a dog that make you walk and hang out for a bit and not be in a rush for a road trip. But it would probably be a 2-dayer. Anyways, no matter the EV, no matter the car, really, a 2-day trip. And I really like how it drives, and the efficiency has been pretty good. I mean, I'm not like really comparing it directly to anything. I'm just like, this is my experience road tripping this EV, and yeah, we're having a good time. So Rafiki and I are gonna finish up our walk, head inside, and enjoy our night. It is a nice, cold, rainy evening in Atlanta. Good morning from the VinFast, everyone. It is still looking. It has not timed itself out. We're going home. It's time to go.
You're so ready to go home.
Yeah. Just like the VinFast.